Hello student, my name Dilip Kumar from SS Educational Institute. We have discussed about the topic is knowledge management, and in this topic we will discuss about the data warehousing. That is especially for BCA third year. This lecture, my lecture is BCA third year. So here we will discuss about the data warehouse. First of all, we will discuss about the what is the data warehouse. So actually, the definition is verbally definition is a central location where consolidated data from multiple locations are stored. That place is called the data warehouse. And how can this consolidated in different places? That is called the databases. So with the help of databases, we can consolidate data from multiple location in a one place. That is called the data warehouses. Okay, so here you can see in this figure, in this pages you can see we have introduced a key feature of data warehouse. That means that is a definition by an marketer, some researcher, or any top management analyst. So the key feature of the data warehouse is that according to definition of Bill Inman, data warehouse is a subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile and time-variant collection of data in support of management decision. That means any management can decision on the behalf of this variant, like the subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile and time-variant collection of data. So in this explanation, we can say we have learned only SINT, that means S for stand for subject oriented, I for integrated, N for non-volatile, and T for time variant. Okay, we will discuss one by one. So first of all, we will discuss about the subject oriented database. What is a subject oriented data? In data warehouse, data is stored by subject, not by applications. First of all, you remembering that application is another part and subject is another part. Okay, application we use on the websites, browsers, but by subject we can draw or we can involve the queries. If we trick any query to database, he will resolve our query and give the outputs. That is called the subject wise. Okay, so data warehouse stored by subject, not by application. Like that example of e-commerce industries, and operational application is that like order processing, customer billing, etc. There are different any type of operational for e-commerce on operational applications. See, second is a data warehouse subjects. We talking about operational application. These are order processing, customer billing. Or on the other hand, we will discuss about data warehouse by subject. That is, order processing means sale and customer billing means customers. So now we will query tracking about sales and customer, that give the subject wise solution, not by application solution. Okay, so first of all, subject oriented data involved in a data warehouse, and second is a integrated data. You can see the concept of integrated means different type are integrated and combine a unique task. That is called an integrated task. Okay, so in this part, data in data warehouse come from several operation system. Okay, like that we have used an example. Operational applications is saving account, loan account, current account. This is integrated in a subject manner, that is called the account. So for integrated we have remembering such type of things like that. Remove inconsistency, like that. In a saving account we have used the sex like that, male and female. You can see male and female. And a loan account, the column option is sex for male oblique female. That is inconsistency, because here we use male and female, here we use M and F. So that is a inconsistency. So that inconsistency divided in a namely, codes, data attributes, measurements, and that we will make a standardized form, then use in a data warehouse. So first of all we use a remove inconsistency. Second, a transformation. Second, transformation means that standardized form can be converted for the data warehouse. Okay. And third is the integrated of source data. These all sources, like these three sources, are integrated and are combined into the account portion and save in the data warehouse. Okay. Next is time variant data. The time variant data, it means the data warehouse has to contain historical data. The main purpose and main benefit of data warehouse, we can see current data, historical data, all the part we can see in a data warehouse. Okay. So now time variant data means data warehouse has to contain historical data, not just only current data. Every data structure in the data warehouse contain the time element. This feature allow the followings, like that here, that is an account part. Day first sale is 1000 rupees. Day to second sale is also 2000 rupees. So total sale of second day is 3000 rupees, and after day 3 that will loss in 2500. So total amount after third day 500 rupees. Okay, remaining balance after third day is 500 rupees. But in operational data we can say that only 500, because this operational data use the current values. Okay. So but in data warehouse you can see day first 1000, day second 3000, day 3 500. That is 500 is a current position, and 1000 and 3000 the historical data. So here we can see time variant data consists allowed to analysis of past, relate information to present, and enable forecast to future. On the behalf of this we can forecasting the future. And next point is a non-volatile data. Non-volatile means data is not updated, deleted from the data warehouse in real time. You remembering this point, data warehouse is a non-volatile data. Okay, because in a data warehouse the data is not updated or deleted. Okay. And the fifth point is a data granularity. I will not discuss on the key feature of data warehouse. I'm told about key feature is the scent. You can see here the scent. But that is data granularity is a very important part. In this data warehouse it is efficient to keep data summarized at a different level, because mainly data granularity used to summarize or query from the user or the owner to retrieve which type of information want to owner or user. That is provided by the data warehouse. Use the data granularity. Like that banking system, we use the daily detail, monthly detail, and quarterly detail. So like the daily detail, account amount, deposit, withdrawal, and monthly. So data warehouse use for which type of detail we want, like the monthly. So only monthly part can be fetched from the banking system, and if we want to see the quarterly information, the only quarterly part will be fetched from the banking system. Next is a data warehouse component. You can see a big chart of data warehousing, but it's not hard, it's so easy. You can see here is a component, mainly component I marked with a blue pen like that. First is a source data, second is a management and control, third is a information delivery, and fifth is a data staging, sixth is a data storage. These are only 6 type of data used to describe the data warehouses. So first of all, sources data like that, production data. Production in a, like that you can say in a company how many production at that particular time. Okay, at that particular time, which type, how many production, and how was the internal data, how was the achieved data. Achieved data, that means the collected data or stored data. Okay, or external data, how many data will go through the company to other like that for selling, that is called the external data. So that is a sources data. Okay, that sources data stored in a data staging. Data staging means extract, transform and loading. Extract means which type of information we want to store in the stag. So in all of the data, all of the source data, which type of information we want to stored in the staging, that is called the data staging. The extraction from the information, all the data resources and stored in the staging, that is transform. That transform is the production, internal, achieved and external is a huge number of data, and which only some data we can transform to store in the data staging, that is called the transformation. And L for loading. Loading means this type of extract, then transform, then loading the data into data staging, then data goes to the data storage, and this data storage make a data warehouse. You can see here data storage goes to 3 parts. First is a data warehouse, second is a data mart, third is a multi-dimensional DBMS. You can see here the data warehouse is a part of DBMS because we trick the queries on the database that we will find the result, that is called the DBMS. So and here this data warehouse have unique on data, that is called the metadata, and that is a multi-dimensional DBMS. That means ki where it is used like that data mining, OLAP, report query, that is a part of dimensional DBMS. Okay, multi-dimensional DBMS. And data mart is a operational extraction transformation or end user that involved in the data mart. Okay, metadata, end user uses the metadata, and data mart uses, you can see here, design for department. Data mart is a design for department, like a different type of department included in a data warehouse, that is called the data mart, because all of the department has a unique data, and all the data are integrated and stored in the data warehouse, that is called the data mart. You can see after the information delivery we can see the result. Okay, so there is a overall concept, overall component of data warehouse. Next is a data warehouse architecture model. On the behalf of data warehouse, we can configure in a 3 type of architecture model. First is a 2-tier architecture model, that is a client server architecture model. It's separately physical available source and data warehouse. That means 2-tier architecture separates physically available resources and data warehouse. Okay, you can see here there is a data warehouse and there is a client user. Okay, client or end users, that is separately. Okay, that is called the 2-tier. In this 2-tier we use client or server, that is server, that is a client. Okay, so in this 2-tier application there are advantage and disadvantage. So some disadvantage of this 2-tier is that non-expandable, because there are only 2 type of client and server. This is not expandable and does not support large number of end users. This is not support, because if we want to add a user that it not give the response quickly, so it will be quickly disadvantage. So there is some disadvantage, and there is some advantage also in a client server architecture or two-tier architecture. First is easy to maintain, and the second is fast communication, because there is a no middleware level, so direct client contact to the server. That is a fast communication. And second is you can see here, if a client want to see something, that give the request to server, and server response to the client. That is called the client server architecture. Number second, three-tier architecture. In this three-tier architecture, you can see here bottom tier, middle tier, top tier. In the two-tier, we can see only top and bottom, but in a three-tier, we can see top, bottom, and middle. In a bottom tier, there is a database. Always in a bottom tier, database will be present. Like here, that is a server, that is a bottom. Okay, so in a three-tier, bottom tier is a database management, that is a RDMS, means relationally database management system at present in the bottom tier, and that's work is after cleaning transformation data is loaded. Okay, middle tier, OLAP server, online analytical processing server, is called the middle tier server. That is a business logic is there. So top tier is a front end, client layers, that is a query tools. We will fire any query on the top tier. Okay, so you can see I have draw a top to bottom to top, top to bottom. Three-tier architecture is here. First of all, in a bottom, database, middle application, and top is a client. Okay, in a three-tier architecture is here. That is data sources on bottom, OLAP is a middle, on the middle, and on the top end is a client. Okay, and fourth architecture means we have introduced a new layer, that is called the presentation layer. That presentation layer is control and view the users or client's query. Okay, so it is not but something is that in a bottom, database, then application, then presentation, and then a client on the end user. So here you can see the architecture. Here is a database. That database have forwarded the objective. Objective is analyzing after it becomes a business objective, and this business objective model create a models, and this model views by the client. If a client want to something, they provide the request to controller, and controller give the request to view, and view response to client. You can see here, that is forward the request, and controller forward request to the view, and view response to the client, and only client interact with this presentation layer, not these two layers. So our database server will be safe according to four-tier architecture. So what tier architecture will be more safe and secure? We can see that four-tier architecture will be more safe and secure architecture. And next, difference between data warehouse and data mart. You can see there are some points to differentiate between data warehouse and data mart. First of all, first point is a corporate, enterprise wide. Data warehouse is a corporate entity, enterprise wide entities, but data mart is a department wise entities. Second point, union all data mart. That means data warehouse is a collection of data mart. Okay, but data mart is a single business process. Third point, receive data from staging areas. You can see in a data warehouse components staging area go through the data storage, and data storage go for the data warehouse. And for data mart, stars join like facts and dimensions used in a data marts. Okay, fourth point is a centralized control and management of data. Centralized control, that means data warehouse will be centralized controlling, but on the data mart technology optimal for data access analysis. That means data mart has these different type of technology used for data access. Okay, and fifth point is a keep all historical data even not needed. Even not needed means if we want to see current data, but data warehouse, it will be not needed, yet it will store the historical data. But in data mart, structure to suit the development view of data, it's only view of data, it not stored any data. Next, need for data warehouse. You can see here I draw some points for data warehouses. First of all, what's the need for data warehouse? The first point is that for taking quick and effective decision, we want to need data warehouse. Second point, help user in providing necessary information. Third point, creating and managing efficient data repository. So we want to need a data warehouse. And second point is a goal of data warehouse. The first point is a secure and easy access of information to users. Second, consistent information to be provided. Third, clean and authentic data for analysis. And fourth, data must be accurate and verified. Fifth point, data must be adaptive in nature. And this is the goal for data warehouses. And advantage, we can see advantage before. You can say that historical information provided to analyst, because historical data is stored in a data warehouses, that is a big advantage. Quality of data increases because we can see time to time we can comparison to new data and old data. That's how can improve our quality of data. And third point, help in recovering from data failure. We have provided not single databases. We can copy of a database house in one or two phases, so help to recovering from data failure. If any database failure, we can recovering easily because one of more data server it will be provided in our data warehouses. And fourth point, help in data mining process. Data mining process means how can mine the data from data warehouse to give a useful information to the user, that is called the data mining. And benefits, first of all, first benefit is that increase in product inventory turnover. That means inventory turnovers benefit means if we trick any query that give a proper information about any past, future and present data, so increase the product inventory turnover. Second is a low cost of production. How can it reduce our cost of production? It will give more views, and that we will say that low cost of production. And third, high sales and with improved target market selection. In the past observation, we will also improve our sales, our targeted to the market selections. And second and fourth point is a better business intelligence. Data warehouse is give a intelligence because we have a short summarized view of any data. So this is useful for a businessman. We use they use this type of intelligence and better business. Difficulties and problems. First of all, construct of data is very large. Organizing complex tasks can take years to complete. There is a huge of data are stored in a database to make a very complexes. So accommodating to changes very difficulties. The second point, administrator of data warehouse is complex and require higher level skills and team with a technical expertise. Complexity high and size high. It means data warehouse is a complex and big sizes. So if anyone handle this data warehouse, he will be good level of skills. So this is very complexity for data warehouse. There is a big problems. And third point is a quality control. There issues both quality and consistency of data. Correct, clean, authentic. That is a big data in a data warehouse. So maybe sometime there is difficulty faces in a data warehouse is a correct, clean, authentic. I think you will be understand what is the data warehouse, what is the component, what is the advantages, disadvantages, and what is the difference between data warehouse and data mart, and what is the architecture, like the 2 tier, 3 tier, and 4 tier architecture. Okay, thank you.